I'm Brandon. I love ABC Family Christmas movies.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I like ABC Family Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I got to be honest, I don't know how I feel about ABC Family Christmas movies, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know,
hello.
You know, the last time we did this with our good friend Ryan Pappolla, promises were made. One of which I believe was he'd be in the studio for this episode.
I think we did.
I got to be honest, I'm not here to call Ryan Pappolla a liar. I'm not here to. I would never.
We also, I think, promised
this
episode would come out last week. So a lot of
of
promises.
I feel like everyone's been let down. Everyone's been let down here. Is all I'm saying.
Me included.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, who do we blame for this? What was it? American Airlines? We blame American
Airlines. United, Delta, they all were
Microsoft
mofos.
Yeah, I think we blame somebody. But it is what it is.
That's right.
And I'll just say this for all the Ryan stands out there. You're getting a double dose of Ryan this week because of it. So it kind of all, it's it all comes out in the wash.
Right. I didn't know that the much anticipated Force Friday started this week until I was on vacation last week.
And I think
last week I was like, I got the thing. You were like, can you watch? Blah blah blah. You sent me a text about it. And I I was like, oh, that's this week. That's right now.
Well, and I think the big takeaway there is we are 11 weeks away from Christmas season starting.
Oh,
so there's that.
Okay.
If you do the math out.
Only 11, huh?
Only 11.
I bet the folks over at Christmas morning are going nuts.
Yeah, we are. We are going nuts. Thanks for asking.
11 weeks till Christmas.
We 11 weeks until countdown to Christmas
11
starts.
weeks till the countdown to Christmas.
Which means less than that until the Christmas preview show starts. So I'm going nuts right now.
May as well start
6
tomorrow.
of them?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
We'll see how many we can get out of it. We'll
Should
see.
we do a Star Wars preview show at some point?
Oh my gosh.
I would know. That I draw the line there. I draw the line right there.
Yeah, how many lightsabers? You got a cream one.
Yeah, half a saber. You got a cream a saber? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's a family show.
That's starting this Friday, though.
But it's
everybody.
not right now.
No.
We got a very important film.
That's right. Yeah, that's actually
that we're all excited about doing. It's called Snow 2 Brain Freeze.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that one.
And I think it's important for people to understand context. Context matters. We all collectively watched this movie 2 weeks ago.
Correct. Yes.
With the understanding that we would review it before Bramblefest,
right.
and it would come out the week following Bramblefest. That was the intention.
Did any of that happen?
No. Ryan, your flight.
We tried like heck.
We tried like
heck.
Ryan, your flight was canceled. You got in a day later. That didn't make it possible for us to record ahead of time. Dan was out of town last. It was a whole thing. And so here we are now. And so everyone out there, if we get some things wrong, which we're known to do on the best of days.
That's right.
Give us a little grace. It's been a minute, and this movie
also
wasn't super memorable.
If you don't think this movie gets the ribbing it deserves, I looked at my notes, and I don't recognize over half of the things I wrote down. So you just need to know that we have a lot of fun here at Deck the Hallmark. We typically don't watch a movie and then 2 weeks later try to review it.
But we said we're doing it, and dadgummit, we want to do it.
Yes.
We want to do it.
Is this coming out in July, or is this
coming out
in August?
It's coming out in July.
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday,
yes.
July
Final
31st.
day.
Happy Wednesday.
Final day of July. Final day of July. Just kind of sneaking in there. Christmas in July. People think it's over. It's not over at all.
No. So festive over here.
Let's see what happens. Snow 2, Brain Freeze. Originally aired on ABC Family on December 14, 2008, 4 years after the initial Snow franchise began. Got the whole gang. The whole gang back together, and it went a little something like this. Sandy is at the North Pole doing North Pole stuff. She's getting ready to tell Nick something big, and she's nervous. But Nick is nowhere to be found. He's out sled dogging is what I put. Dog sledding's another way to say it.
He's out there sled dogging.
Why dogs instead of reindeer? The reindeer are too fat. That's their joke that they're making. So how do you get inspired how do you get the reindeer to be inspired to start to run? You say out of the job. That'll get them back into the business. And he decides to show them how to work
Dougie.
out, he mirror travels to a gym so that they can learn. So Sandy is sad now because Nick is MIA.
Take her to the house.
She gets, she just wants to spend the holidays with Nick, and Nick promised her that they'd spend some time together. So she's mad. When he finally comes back, they argue, and they decide now is the time to do some fun
Dougie.
mirror. Yeah, what? He's like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm mad. We're mad. So he mirror travels, but upon exiting, he falls and he hits his head.
Yeah.
So he's now in a different world.
Classic Santa's got amnesia situation.
And he wakes up.
Brain injury.
Freeze.
It's
Yeah.
a brain injury.
Yeah.
It's a brain freeze. He wakes up in a
As
hospital.
they call it, the soft sciences, the brain freeze.
That's right. You guys don't know that when you guys drink like a slush or something too fast, it's mini concussions. So he wakes up in a hospital, doesn't know who he is. Lucky for him, the news is there interviewing
That's why
people
no
in the
football helmet
hospital.
will help.
That's exactly right. They're interviewing people in the hospital, as the news does. Sandy, watching the news, as you do, sees him. But you know who else does? Buck. Remember Buck? So he wants to find him to get revenge. He tells Nick, he shows up, he tells Nick that someone's coming for him. It's not good, and he tricks him into leaving the hospital before he's supposed to. So when Sandy shows up, she finds out that Nick is missing. Buck gives Nick a ticket to Bolivia,
Yeah.
and so he goes to the train station. But luckily for him, brain freeze, he falls asleep. He misses the train altogether, and he meets Ryan, a kid who says he wants to help, but he's really just a pickpocket.
Hey, man, I don't steal nothing.
That's right.
Lied
Sorry
about being
sorry,
here in
buddy.
the studio. I know that.
I know
much.
that. You pickpocketed our heart,
Yeah.
saying you were going to be
That's
here.
right.
It's messed up, man. And so, because they use a pickpocket, they have to run away from the police at one point. And they, to do that, they go into this building. This building is like an old club, and there's a guy inside this club. His name's Henry, and Henry's like, "I've been waiting for you. This was a secret society of sorts, and we're glad that you're here." And Nick is like, "I don't know what you're talking about, man." And an important thing that you need to know, and is told to Sandy early on, is that you can't tell him that he's Santa, or else he might forget forever.
Yes.
And so you have to let him come to that realization
right.
himself.
Yes.
So while she's looking for Nick, Sandy suddenly finds Buddy, the reindeer, and who came through the mirror as well. And she is hoping that Buddy can help her find Nick. We did it, but Nick doesn't recognize her. Brain freeze, still fully frozen. And so obviously I can't tell you, can't do any of that. So they are now going to be working with Henry to decorate this club for Christmas, because everyone's going to be coming.
Yeah.
And so we got
Secret Santa Society.
Secret Santa Society. We got to know. We got to make sure that this is all decorated for Christmas. And Buck is now at the North Pole. He's traveled. He's got some of this magic snow, which allows you to transport through the mirror. You thought it was just a mirror. It's not that. It's just snow on the mirror.
the snow on the
knows-
mirror.
That's why it's called
Yes.
snow.
Snow on the mirror.
Snow too.
Yeah.
And he is starting to he puts it all together that this is the North Pole, which is why Ryan was so adamant last, 8 weeks ago now, that he didn't know the North Pole.
Yeah.
Remember that
Even
whole
with
thing?
seeing this movie, Ryan's still wrong there.
We can talk about that later. I gotta go pickpocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost Christmas Eve. Sandy tries to help Nick remember, but does not remember. Then suddenly people start coming through the mirror, and it's like Santa old or something like
Santa's
that.
of Santa old.
Santa's of Santa's
No,
old.
it's his dad.
And his dad, and that helps him remember, basically.
Sure.
Is that right, Ryan?
I think
I think we're conflating two things, but I feel good about it.
Anyway, basically the most
And then
important
my
thing.
friends.
Nick remembers they go back to the North Pole. They're happy,
pregnant.
and Sandy tells him the big news that she's pregnant, and that, my friends, was Snow
colon two.
No,
Rain
He
freeze.
wasn't in the North Pole last
Colon
time.
too early.
colon too early. Been there. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we will break this movie down here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody.
People in the chat trying to follow along to that synopsis to figure out this movie. I'm sorry.
They're-
I thought you were going to have to loop the song there for a second, which
they-
was
yeah.
amazing on this film. Like,
Yeah.
They spent a lot of time in the Santa Society is what you really need to know, and none of it really mattered ultimately. Let's get to Snow 2. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. We're going to start with a hot take. We're going to share exactly how we felt about this movie, and I'll start with you, Ryan. Ryan, we originally, when I sent you the schedule, originally we weren't going to do Snow 2. We were going to do a different ABC Family movie, and you were like, I think since we're doing Snow 1, we should do Snow 2.
Oh, this is Ryan's
This
fault?
is Ryan's fault.
This is unbelievable.
So,
This is
Ryan,
unbelievable.
your thoughts on Snow 2?
You know, I often say there's no one I identify with less than 18-year-old Ryan Pappolla. This movie confirmed it. Some really quick backstory because we have a lot to do today. I watched this film several years in a row. I own it on physical media, and to bring it full circle to what Dan and I were talking about week 1 with Holiday and Handcuffs and the importance that had because it was still new and there wasn't 8,000 Christmas films being made. I was so desperate at one point in my life to watch a Christmas film every day or multiple Christmas films every day leading up to Christmas that there was a several-year stretch where I watched Snow 2 yearly.
Man.
And I remember, I didn't suggest this to Bran.
Some
'cause I
dark
think this
days.
film- yeah, I didn't suggest this to Bran because I think this film is a classic. If anything, I think I texted Bran verbatim this a few weeks ago. Snow 2 was worse than I remember it, and I remember it as really bad. This movie sucks.
There it is.
Everything that made the first film so charming is basically absent here. I want to be fair because I like everyone who's in this film. Performance-wise, I think that it's a losing battle from the start. This is tough. The Santa Claus 2, if you're talking to anyone other than Bran, couldn't figure this out. I think Santa magic, what makes the best Santa stories we've ever had, the Santa Claus with an E being the best example.
Yep.
I even think by the last 20 minutes of the Santa Claus that they kind of lose the plot a little bit, that the strongest parts of that film are the beginning. Sustainable Santa stories in the secret Santa society is just so to do. Nick comes off as a bit of a jerk. Even before the amnesia hits. You don't get Kavanaugh and Ashley Williams together very much in this film, which, like, for a sequel, that was what we liked the first time. You're not giving us Hector back, kid of the decade,
Kid of the
century,
decade.
or at least.
Potential kid of the century.
We get Ryan, and I think you would agree with this.
Yeah.
That doesn't even
Underwhelming.
scratch the surface of kid of the decade, much less even kid of the year. I haven't seen. It's been a long time since 2008, but I bet there's some other kids out there.
Oh, I think we could go to Kid of the ABC Family 25 Days of Christmas block for that season and possibly find some contenders. No offense to him. I hope he's doing great. This film didn't need Buck. They didn't need Buck, and then the film tells us Nick needs to come to his memories himself, except I'm pretty sure someone just told him that he was Santa, and then he was like, oh, cool. We don't care about him and his parents. I apologize. I used to apologize most on my time here at Deck the Hallmark for introducing Fast Fridays. That was a hit. This was a miss. My bad.
I don't really understand the purpose of this movie.
Brain freeze, Brain. Come on.
So we had Snow, which was, a good time. It was fun. It was 2004. I don't know what happened between 2004 and 2008 that finally made a second Snow movie possible. But I have a hard time believing that this was the best we could do idea-wise for a Snow sequel, because we have these characters. I'm intrigued. The thing I'm intrigued about is Ashley Williams, fish out of water. She's just moved to the North Pole. What is that like for her? What's it like? We could have just had a sequel that's just like basically a straight sequel. Like she's in the North Pole. That's tough. Shenanigans transpires. I don't know why we had to have him hit his head, give him brain freeze. I definitely don't understand the necessity of Secret Santa Society. That whole plot point was a miss for me. And so I'm not, I in theory, am not upset about a Snow sequel. I am upset that this, given a 4-year window, was the best that we could come up with for a movie that has really fun characters and could tell a really fun story. This was not that story, and I'm bummed by it. All these years later, now that I've seen it, now I'm bummed. I'm bummed that it happened. I'm bummed that it is a scar on the legacy that is Snow, and there's nothing we can do about that now. Dano?
In 2008, I was living in St. Louis, Missouri, and I worked 2 union jobs, UPS during the night, clean windows during the day. The entire financial system collapsed. No one had any money. It all trickled down to us workers. I was lowest on the seniority poll. I got laid off of 2 jobs in 2008, and I didn't know how we were going to literally eat, my wife and I. And then someone made this movie.
And it inspired you?
No.
Okay.
Just to show you that 2008 may have been the worst year on record. Someone put out this piece of garbage with their gainful employment. I can't even begin with this movie. Everything you've said is right and not nearly enough. Not enough Ashley Williams, not enough Tom Cavanaugh. The premise of this movie is Santa has amnesia, but you can't tell him. You can't tell him. If you tell him that he has amnesia, he will forever have amnesia. I don't know how it was made. I don't know how it happened. I certainly don't want to watch it again. This was awful. Unless I've tried my best to forget it. What I can remember of this movie was so incredibly terrible. It was real tough time out there. Makes Snow, the original, look like a full-on masterpiece.
It's time for All the Feels, where we talk about what in Snow 2 gave us those feels. Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The club.
Put it
when
on
they
the
decorated
DVD
it,
box. Yeah, I don't know, man. Ryan Pappolla. Pump on Twitch.
The club, when they decorated it, looked okay. It didn't even look great. It looked okay.
Looked okay.
That was it, Brand. I'll kick it to you.
Listen, I think, Ryan, you would agree with me that a society of people that believe in Santa, we would be invited. You and I, we would be invited, and
Sure.
we would go, and we would have a wonderful time. This club's sad. It's a sad.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a solemn
sad
affair.
club. So we have this idea that, in theory, I should be like, sign me up. I'll be there. I'll show up early. And now it's like, I don't want to go anywhere near this place. This seems like it's multiple code violations. I don't understand. In
as much
theory,
like a library as they could.
in theory, it's something that I should be very excited by, and so I'm going to go with the theory as my feels. Dan,
real quick, just to get serious for 1 second.
Thank you.
The Secret Santa Society and the mythos of that and Nick's parents could have been the movie.
Yes.
Like that could. I'm not saying it would have been, but that could have been.
And they
a
just
really cool movie.
sprinkle it in.
Barely.
Here's the thing is this movie, and I don't even know if it was in your synopsis, features a weird dude that is the rule book. Do you know what I'm talking about? What was his name?
Oh, I don't know. Barnaby?
Yeah, Barnaby the rule book.
Barnaby Jones?
Barnaby the rule book Scrivener, like whatever his name is.
Barnaby Jones.
This movie has a secret Santa society where everyone is...
You know what? My feels is Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
My feels is Jingle
Whatever you
All
have
the
to
Way.
do.
You too, Barnaby Jones.
That's right.
That's Sinbad. You should
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, I should, but it's not good.
We're rewatching it.
Yes.
You and I, we are rewatching
Let's do it.
There's nothing that you can do about it.
I want to. I want to give it another shot.
Makes me so mad that you don't
I finally
like it.
watched Christmas with the Cranks last year. Awful movie.
I'm not surprised you don't like
but
that.
better than I remember Jingle All the Way.
I'm
being.
I'm not surprised that you don't like Christmas with the Cranks. I'm shocked that you don't like Jingle All the
Dude,
Way.
Can't stand it. I'm more than willing to give it another go. Maybe I'm wrong.
You've seen it one time.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not. Listen,
You're
it
wrong
is what
about
it
so
is.
much.
Here are my feels. Secret Santa Society is like a library, and there's an actual living rule book. This is the Christmas movie for Brian Harold. Those are my feels.
That's funny.
So
You would love
I
it.
think Brian walked out. He didn't even get to hear it.
He didn't
It
get to
was
hear
just
that
for
joke.
him.
Oh man.
Oh,
He's there.
he's got headphones on.
He's not
He missed
listening.
it.
He's not
Honk,
paying
honk.
attention. He's not paying attention. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with the Wait What and the What the Hallmark here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Snow 2: Brain Freeze. It's great to be back. Did you just wave at the people?
Yeah, you did. Those watching on Philo.
That was sweet. That was sweet of you. Oh, man. Let's talk about the Wait What. It's where we talk about what in this movie made us go, wait, what? Ryan?
I kept it to 3. You know, I'm a nice guy. This kid Ryan, not me, sees Sandy kidnapped into different realms of existence. His immediate response to that was to figure that the mirror could make him some money. He's not kid of the year. He might be worst kid. Like what? Not a nice person. Nick tells Ryan indoors to hold on to this snow. I'm here to tell Nick, snow melts, dude. And then one more, I'm just going to read this verbatim. Henry's daughter has been in the same space as Ryan for all of 3 minutes and said approximately no words to him, and then finds out that she's adopting him because her dad said so. Snow 2 ruled.
Yeah. Snow Tool's so good.
I have a few. One, the conflict at the beginning of this movie is because of reindeer training. And she says, "You promised me no reindeer training before dinner." Why is that rule in place? I feel like the reindeer should be able to be trained before or after dinner, whatever works best for them as the reindeer. To say no reindeer training before dinner, that doesn't leave very much time. It's dark. It's the North Pole. It's going to be so dark. You got to do some training during the day, too.
Yeah. You're at night. The whole thing's at night. Why wouldn't you train?
Hey, Ryan, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did Buck call her Bobcat last movie?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He did. This is not a Dom Brian Buster situation.
Because they established the heck out of it.
Does he call her Bobcat as much in Snow 1 as than is?
I think it's more in Snow 2. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, I mean, that's the biggest wait what of these movies is Sandy even hanging out with this guy?
Yeah,
like,
get out of
under
here.
any circumstance.
Anyone that calls you Bobcat, just stay away. It's a weird nickname, especially if it calls you that many times. Hey, Bobcat. At one point, I don't even remember who it was. Said boobus tubus when talking about the TV.
Yes.
So that's fun. Last but not least, I think it's, I don't know who it is. Again, it's been a long time. Yeah. But the indication is that it is a belief that marriage is dead. And
yeah, I have that one.
Okay. Then I'll hand it off. Here you go.
Well, Santa at one point says, take
the baton.
Hey, I got it. Thank you. Olympics, you check it out.
What is that?
OLYM. It's on Peacock. You can find most of it. Yes. He says, "Who says marriage is dead? Huh? Was that ever a question? Was somebody was there a group of people that are like marriage is dead? Like, is that
it's
a
the
thing?
war on marriage?
Yeah,
wild Facebook group.
Yeah, what a Facebook group.
Marriage is
indeed.
dead.
Yeah. Hey, there's
Million
half of what I have written down here I don't remember anything about, so I'm not going to use. Like, for instance, someone says, "I don't sneak, I turn slowly." I don't know why that is a thing.
It's a funny line.
I just have written down blackmailing a doctor.
These all sound like Panic at the Disco.
They do. You're right. Yeah. I'm actually unveiling the track lists for the new My Chemical Romance album.
I don't sneak.
Crystal Kringle. I don't sneak, I turn slowly.
Yeah.
Blackmailing a doctor. All these really good stuff.
I don't sneak, I just turn slowly.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's the single. We got a little
around the doctor's door. Thanks, Ryan.
What they're doing is they're using old music.
Yes.
And putting new lyrics in, and they think people are going to buy it.
They thought maybe the lyrics didn't age well or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Panic at the Disco Panic's version.
That's right.
Panic's version.
Panic at the Kris Kringle. Here's the thing. Here's what I do remember about this movie. There is a news crew live interviewing patients with head injuries. There is a news crew that has made their way into the hospital and found patients that have active head injuries. There's no waivers. There's no permission. They're just there going, what do you think about blah, 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 to people who are trying to recover from head injuries. And that's a move. Even for Snow 2, brain freeze, that's a move. I think that's a bit much even for them. The fact that she can't tell her husband he's Santa or he might forget it forever is the biggest logical leap we have to clear here, and we never, ever clear it. And then my last one, no, there's one other one. There's someone in this secret Santa society that they say left the society because they lost the faith. Which, to me, the only thing crazier than a secret society where people believe in Santa is someone being that committed and go, you know what? I just lost it. I lost the faith. Santa actually isn't real. I thought he was so much to join this secret library society, but I guess he's not, and I've made a huge error.
Was that, for those watching on Philo, Aaron, was that cut to me because of the
You lost your Christmas spirit.
Because of the lie, the slander that has been...
You did get a pep talk from George Feeney. I hope it helped some, but I mean, you still did lose your Christmas spirit.
I'm like, it was really kind of you to do that. I'm like borderline real PO'd. That's the one time I ever get a message.
This is
from George Feeney.
It's the perfect gift is George Feeney talked to you, but also knows that you've lost your Christmas spirit.
But can you not for a second
he doesn't know it's
do a bit?
George Feeney, 94-year-old George Feeney.
That's right.
Thinks that you lost your Christmas
George
spirit.
Feeney is going to one day,
yeah.
hopefully a long time from now, but one day he's going to pass away. And the only thing he knows about me is a lie.
Like, man, that one guy in June doesn't have his Christmas spirit. I hope he's okay. Man,
that's messed up, man.
Perfect.
I don't go around saying lies about you.
Buddy, you lost your Christmas spirit.
I did not.
The first
I
step,
let it go on.
The first step of
don't you dare jump on this.
Is acknowledging.
Don't you dare. You know better.
Brand, you just have to acknowledge it's a problem. You're in denial.
The only problem I have is you. You're my problem.
Denial, bargaining, anger. We got to get to acceptance, buddy. This sounds like anger, but you've not gotten past denial yet. We got to get there, buddy. I'm here to help.
Don't cry because you lost it. Smile because George Feeney hopefully helps you find it.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly. If you had your Christmas spirit, you wouldn't be getting all bent out of shape about it.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
If someone's spreading lies about
it's
you,
not a lie, buddy. I'm sorry. You automated tree.
All right, Dan hates the Yankees.
Somebody.
Dan poops to bed every night. Dan poops to bed every night.
It's no longer even a fake tree. It's an automated.
It's an automated tree. Bang, bang, bang. I will light up for those without light in their hearts. Bang, bang,
whatever.
It's the Rocky IV robot.
Hires somebody to decorate his house.
Whatever.
Doesn't even care anymore.
Whatever.
Phoning it in. He's phoning it in with his automated tree.
Whatever helps you sleep in your poop-filled bed at night,
right.
Dan.
I poop the bed every night.
Big bed pooper.
You see how I just admitted it?
Yeah, but you're. That's
all you got to do is admit it, bud. Then you can start.
I'm not going to admit it because I know it's going to be used against me.
No, we would never.
You guys would. You guys would trick me into saying a lie.
George Feeney thinks that you don't have any Christmas spirit. You lost it, and so the least you could. The most
now
you could do.
Now I'm going to have to spend money getting a cameo from George just to make sure that he knows that it was sent a lie.
And tell me I won't empty my bank account out cameoing you on this.
Bran, would you like to watch Snow 2 again? You know?
Where are we? Is it What the Hallmark?
I think it's What the Hallmark.
Yeah, sure. What the Hallmark?
What the Hallmark? Ryan, what are you still wondering about?
Thanks, Bobcat. How did we get here? Like, Bran mentioned this earlier. Like,
how did we get here? That's a good question. How
question.
did we
It's a
get
great
here?
question.
Where
question.
like I'm gonna sue you. If you don't stop, I'm going to serve you, and that's tough for me.
Yeah.
You got served, man.
That is someone without. That's a move from someone without Christmas spirit.
What? That I'm gonna
Lawsuits?
fight?
Yeah.
That I'm gonna fight?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are slandering my good name.
Christmas spirit overcomes
Typically,
all.
pacifists are those who possess the Christmas spirit. Fighting, not really what I think of.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Ryan. How did we get here?
Yeah, like I mean, they should have come up with something better, and I wish Bran still liked Christmas.
I hope all of you die soon.
Man, your heart is dark.
No, then I would be free.
Your heart
I'd be
is dark.
free from this treachery that is my life now.
Your
you
heart
guys
is
have
so dark.
taken something from me.
It's bitter.
You guys have taken something from
Need
me.
a little Christmas right this very minute. Hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Brandon has lost all of it.
We'll work on it. We'll workshop the lyrics. Mine is When Snow 3 coming out. Since time doesn't matter in between these sequels, I think we're due now. When is Snow 3 coming out? And is his brain going to be freezier?
Brain frozen.
Brain frozen.
Brain frozen.
Brain frozen. I am brain frozen. Dana?
Mine with the Hallmark's more of a feels. I'm kind of sad Christmas in July is coming to an end. I was really getting into the Christmas spirit, and it's tough for me because I want that kind of festive energy all year long.
It is such.
But it's a hostile work environment for that.
Such a bunch of malarkey from this guy, who all month has been like, "Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?"
Little Christmas, right this very minute. That's right. Yeah,
I forgot that. I forgot it was still July.
I had changed the camera to include the Christmas tree, and Bran went over, took it out of the shot. Should tell you all you need to know.
Brand, what's your new favorite holiday?
Flag Day. It's Flag Day.
Ryan, you
It's
didn't have
Flag
to
Day.
do this.
It's Flag
You
Day.
didn't have to
It's Flag
jump
Day.
in on this.
It's Flag
We
Day.
do a
It's
fun
Flag Day.
thing. We pod parades together. We have a kinship, and you didn't have to join this.
Ryan, the thing about Ryan is he has to tell the truth. There's nothing we can do.
Well, we were going to come back Friday.
Everybody send some money for Brand's Christmas spirit.
We were going to start. What's the money going to do?
It's going to maybe help us recover as a business.
We're going to be back on Friday. We're starting Force Fridays, everybody.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Very excited about that. With episode 4, we're starting with episode 4, A New Hope. Student for that. And no one else to say anything about Snow 2? We're good. We're back then. Until then, maybe first wish you a Merry Christmas.
The Ramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to BrambleJamPlus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free
Brand,
trial
stop
of
trying
Philo,
to
go
burn
to
the Christmas.
philo.tv/DTH.